We have our carpenter Ulysses to be the installer.
And
think I know
plumber.
most of you.
Yeah, plumber.
And plumber.
We're doing it a little different this time. You'll notice on your course description, there's lines. So we want you guys to write down, step by step, what's going through the process as it's happening. And then we also included a sheet that shows what the salesperson gets each time. So you'll see this sheet is exactly what we're making today. Finishes and everything, and then this is an itemized piece of what's included, all the parts needed. So as we're putting it together, we'll let you know which part's what, and the labels, how they coordinate together. Actually, this piece is installing tomorrow on a job site too.
Yep. Any question? No? Good, let's go. Perfect. Jenna, smile. What's that, Ulysses?
This is a, what is this?
You have the drawing?
So this is the bolt from assembly,
The base.
the base of the bolt from.
See how well protected it is?
Are those that you have shown the label?
It shows the description of what the part is. Basically, it is the bolt front supports for a 59 inches wide desk. We'll remove this bad boy, see? Oh, it's coming out.
And they have a number that coordinates. So this number on this spreadsheet right here will coordinate with the label that's on the unit.
All right, so this comes unassembled and it has pins.
Very easy to assemble.
So on this desk, you get two bolt front assemblies. You get the left side and the right side. This would be the left. So we're gonna make the desk go this way. And here's the right side.
And again, the sticker's got the same description, so the installer out there knows exactly what it is.
Are they on the truck together?
I'm sorry?
Did they get loaded on the truck together, or do they have to piece it all together once they get there?
If we have, let's say, 20 private offices, all of the supports goes in one panel card or two, and the surfaces go together. Because if you try to sort them out that way, you will need double the amount of chemicals, and it's easy to damage because there are a lot of uneven pieces. So what the sticker also describes is the bolt front number, which is on the spec and on the drawing, so you know exactly what office this is. So when they are unloading the truck, they have the drawing, let's say it's 10 private offices, they put a 3D drawing on each door with the office number, and they just go, okay, this is 550, so they go to room 550. whatever. I got no more.
So with those labels too, if Ulysses was to write something or damage something in the field, he could just call Hector and say, or Jonathan and say, I damaged piece 5.0. And then everybody would know exactly what piece needed to be replaced.
So do we never do those little bookcases anymore that are inside, like the opposite side of the peg? Just feel like a standard.
We used to do, yeah, the first Catapult series, we designed that way, but then,
The reason why got removed is because it had a lot of issues with electrical and the spacing for,
knee space.
yeah.
It's still something you can have, but it's like a special response.
This one, it gives you the same look, but more spacing.
So you measure your top and then you measure your both front supports. You kind of want to get it in place. Kind of visualize it in your head.
And you'll notice those pieces, that's 3/4 inch thick material, right?
Yes.
And then the surfaces, our surfaces are all 1 1/8 thick
Right.
material.
So what we're doing now is adding brackets to the top of this.
Which is the way to attach the modest to it.
So we don't do that here because it would damage in transit?
Correct.
Is it typical just to have one guy on a private office?
Yes.
That's the usual routine
Right, and then what happened is they do the overheads at the end.
together?
Yeah, so they can help each other. But if it is an L shape like this one, I will put only one head. You know, sometimes they get lucky and end up in a Korea. Suck for them.
So imagine you're going on a job site and your papers where it says no carry up, and then you get there and it says,
Carry out.
right guys?
Our furniture is heavy.
Are you going into pre-drilled holes? Or are you,
If you do that, then I got left and right, and then if, let's say something little happened on the inside of this one, now it's garbage. And then if it is on the inside, you do a little touch and you will never see it.
so you're just going right in without the pre-drill?
Correct. We used to pre-drill, and we had a lot of issues with that. Not to mention that if a change happened in the field, if the customer says, can you just put it over here and set it over there, now you got the support with the holes on the outside. So by not doing it, you prevent all of those problems. Got it?
attaching the modesty to
You screw from the inside to the side. And the reason why you do that, because if you use the connectors, they will be different.
Who's in charge of keeping all the drills charged up?
Drills have two batteries, and while they're using one, the other one is charging all the time.
So you always got one charged.
Yep.
Does Victor do the hardware packets also?
No.
No.
The installers grab their own parts, because they know exactly what they need.
So do they do that every morning when they come in?
For the most part, they have a ladder file with all the parts of the drawers. They pull for the job, but in the event that they forgot something, they got it right there. They have a 3 or 4 high ladder file with shell pins, flat brackets, 90-degree brackets, all kinds of
That's on their
screws.
truck?
Why doesn't the
It's like
Modesty,
part of their tools.
Oh,
why doesn't the Modesty have levelers like the rest of the,
Well, that's
why doesn't the Modesty have levelers like the rest?
because it's unnecessary. 'Cause when you adjust this comes up and down with it.
I get to pull the stickers off for now.
Yeah, we do. But we also want to show you that we forgot stickers on something. We don't do
No,
that
it's because
here.
this, if we take those stickers off of this, because this is getting installed tomorrow, so that one tells them.
So basically, I already screwed up taking those jobs. One thing that we do is we always leave a little bit of overhang, because if you try to be perfect, that's when you run into trouble.
Right, so first you want to get it up there and then start measuring your sides. Like, for example, this would be 1 inch on front, typically, and 1 inch all the way around.
They're a little, the Modesty and stuff is support too, because if you have a thick baseboard that's an inch thick, it pushes that out. So you want to accommodate, that's why it accommodates the baseboard.
Normally, baseboard is, if it is plastic, it's about 1/4 to 3/8. If it is wood, it's going to be 3/4 to 1 inch. So the overhang is always good to have because accommodate any of it.
All right.
So why do sometimes on the returns, we have like a Modesty on that side and sometimes we don't?
A lot of times if people want a Modesty, it's like maybe there's a floor to ceiling window here, so they want to keep, they don't want you to see all the ugliness underneath.
Okay.
That's usually the only case we do a Modesty on the side. Or if it's exposed, maybe it's just a freestanding unit out in the middle of the room, then you'll do a Modesty.
And is
So-
it just a short Modesty?
That depends, usually they're full height, but you can, a lot of times we'll do a short one and if
If it
you're
is,
doing a unit like this where it's a support, you'll do a short Modesty just to keep it from doing this.
the main reason you don't have modesties on the returns if it is a wall, because the electric you'll be covered at all.
Okay,
So if we
so,
did a full modesty, you'd have to make sure that you cut out for the
You
electrical.
have to cut out
Right.
the
So that's, trouble. So that's the main desk.
now we're gonna install these fret brackets on this. You'll see why later.
This is a grommet cover. That goes in the hole.
No, Ash gets white grommet covers.
Right. Ash always gets white, every other color is black, unless you request it. I'm sorry,
White surfaces, yes.
what do you call it?
White, glacier, or silk.
Silk also gets white, because black will look very black.
All right, so now we get our PED or BBF file. We end up taking the drawers apart. Not apart, but out.
So the upper door gets out to attach the pad to the work surface, and the bottom one gets out so you can adjust the glide to level it.
So you get glides, and we have a flat screwdriver. We put it right next to where it's gonna go, and then we try leveling everything out using the glides on the bottom.
The way to adjust these glides, the glide has got a flat slot on the top, so with the flat screwdriver from the inside, you adjust it.
When you put the flat brackets on, how did you know how far apart?
It's
Because you know that the return is 24 or 23,
Oh, okay.
so it's how.
I wasn't sure if you were going to attach the pipe to those or.
And this one can be, you can miss by an inch or two and you're still fine. Now this pad gets attached to the support. We'll explain why and how.
it's really important that you know the size of screw that you're using.
So if you use the wrong one, it goes all the way through, now you got damage. Support.
And you gotta double check your drawings because if this goes on this side and you screw this to this support, then you got holes on your cabinet because it sticks out on the other side.
So it's important when you do a move management that if you're gonna location of the pedestals, keep in mind that if it is in the right side, it'll have holes exposed. So you have to get an end support, or they have to live with some toe job on those holes. So you have to always tell the customer that they might end up with exposed holes. If it is on a workstation, then that's different because you don't attach the pad to your head.
So it's 4 feet roughly. So what I did earlier was those light brackets. If you're by yourself on an install, they're very important to put them on first.
Even if you're not. Because if you don't, then now the only guy has to be holding it until you fly back around. And again, you want to flip that so they can see. Every work surface also have the sticker with the office and the part number on it.
I'd like to point out that the spec says BDF. and that's a file.
I'm sorry?
So the spec says that you need a BDF and that's a file.
Yeah, production screwed up that one, so it's
No, we brought
To borrow
Tomorrow they're putting in both.
It actually, we have a BBF and a file. This particular office, like we said, is going to be installed tomorrow. It's got two pads, one BBF and one file, but we decided only installing one because we don't want to go through.
Good catch.
But also good call.
Thank you.
But didn't we just screw that on the wrong side then, if you're gonna put the file in there?
These always go on the left side.
The file.
The file.
Always front
The BBF is always closer to the person.
Yeah.
What if there's only one pad?
But Timo,
Then why does it show like that?
the reason why we show it that way is because we decided on our meeting, our universal meeting, that two pets is kind of too much and it will be like a very small space and we will have a ton of questions and we don't want a ton of questions. So I told let's just install one pet.
Well, that didn't work.
Twisted and proud.
And if you notice, and if you look on your drawing, though, you'll notice these little arrows that go on the surfaces. Those are indicating the grade direction.
Yep. So when you see those on your drawings, that means the direction of the woodwork.
Are the end supports always inch and a quarter?
Yes. The reason why is because they get the glide, not a quarter levelator, and it's easier. And then if you do the whole front with inch and an eighth, it's crazy.
Do we ever have any issues with that centerpiece being 3/4 inch blowing through? Said, do we ever have any issues with that centerpiece being only 3/4 inch blowing through the surface with?
Yeah, if you don't know how to screw, then yes, you can go to the other side. Even
What
if
about
you,
moving the desk? Does that affect that?
you're not supposed to slide the desk. If you want to move it, you move the whole piece on a dolly or you take it apart. Good.
So you can't slide it even with those little, like,
You came with the reason.
the furniture sliders?
Yes.
Yeah.
We put
Furniture
more than
sliders, no problem.
We put more than one screw in the normally though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to take 2 hours here, that's why.
No, I,
Yeah, it's 3 screws per unit. So now that's installed, I screwed into the top to it, and then you put your cabinet back in. George.
That's the bottom.
you have to level it first, no?
Yes.
How do you know that's the bottom drawer? How do you know that's the bottom drawer?
Because I noticed
Oh.
what you put one over the other.
Does it matter?
Yes. Because the wood grain has to match. And then if you put the opposite, you'll notice that they're not laminated.
Yeah, and then you're going to see different gaps.
That's right.
Does it bring the knuckles?
Yes. So there's 2 holes, you get 2 knuckles.
So the code for knuckles is each hole has one. And again, the installers also have this on the trucks all the time, so if they want to add some on the field, then they can.
What is it? Is that just wire management?
Yes.
Yeah, so normally this is how they come. To take them apart, you just turn them, flip them, take it apart, and then you put your wire or wire ties or whatever's going through that hole up. You tie it up nice and neatly, and then it goes up. Usually the customer takes care of that, or IT.
I will say IT.
So we don't use the Velcro anymore at all?
Velcros.
And they usually go 6 inches from that hole. It depends where the power. If the power is coming from this side, you put it on this side. If the power is coming from this side, you put it on this side.
Karen, I'm impressed you're taking that.
grommet hole there is to connect to a PC underneath because there's no grommet in the end panel to go to the wall? Or would it run around?
The reason the grommet is here is because normally this person will have their that computer here. So you always want the grommet closer to where the computer is. No matter where the outlet is, even if the outlet is on that side, you don't want the grommet there and have wires exposed in your desk.
No, I'm talking about on the end panel then,
The panel line.
having access to a power.
The power should be here, not here.
If it's there, we charge to cut it in the field.
Okay.
Because we normally tell customers where we want the power to be.
And those are standard locations. Like that top always comes with the grommet in that location. This top, in this case, this is called a return, or if it had a surface here, it'd be called a bridge. You'll notice in our specs, it only says bridge because it's the same surface, it's just how it's installed. But, and then on a bridge, it's always centered. You could put 6 grommets in on this, you just have to let us know where you want them, but it's always gonna come dead center.
Now we get a bag of keys and their locks, of course. If there's a whole bunch of, like, so usually that's how you put it in a lock port.
And one key stays with the cabinet, the other key goes inside the drawer. The reason why is because if you leave both in there, when you open and close the drawer, they might damage it because the other key is hanging a little bit on. That's it.
Record timing of the song. Any questions?
Do you want to explain why we put the grommet holes in the center of surfaces?
Why we put grommet holes in the center of surface?
Hook them over.
Oh, yeah, should bring you up so that you can do full size.
Can you explain that?
Well, say they were in the field and this surface got a big gouge. They could just flip it over and it's the same on both sides. That one's not the case. That one is handed. We've tried to get around not using that, but people still want that grommet no matter what. So we've been sticking, so those will always be handed. But everything below it can be used either way. That's another reason why we don't do the bookcase anymore. Because we used to make full depth PEDs. And then now we stopped making full depth PEDs so that we can keep making PEDs over and over again and not have all these custom sizes. They're all the same. So that's another reason why we switched to this design
and,
too.
and the weight of the pad went from 200 pounds to 150 pounds.
Yeah, and I wanna, the reason I put this one here, and we talked about it before pre-install, because these are always go on the left side, so.
It's okay.
Any other questions? Jeannie, you have a question?
No question.
Are you impressed?
I'm
Good.
so impressed.
But you guys can see, I guess I didn't realize that it is time consuming.
It is.
So it's good to see the time frame.
Now, in the past, we tried to build the desks in-house, and 10% of the times work out fine. But the other 90%, it was always something. Either getting through the door, or it was just too big and easy to damage, or not enough space in the truck to bring 20 private offices. So we end up, it is the same amount of labor to do it here or there. So we rather just do it there and do it nicely.
I feel like it's more efficient that way.
Are you gonna disassemble this now for your install?
After everybody's done.
Take it all down.
Any other questions? Timothy?
Is it level?
It's not. We don't need to.
So is that the last thing you do is level it?
Is what?
He was supposed to level it before he put the.
Yeah. Before you put the drawers into the
Oh, okay.
pan, you level it.
And then what about the roll front?
Same thing. You level it at the same time.